There is said to be a mound hidden on the bluffs of the Mississippi. A mound made by Native American Indians centuries ago. The mound was originally documented by a Dr. Stephen Peet in the late 1800s, just north of Quincy, Illinois. It was said to be larger and longer than the Serpent Mound in Serpent Mound State Park, Adams County, Ohio. But many have said this is not true, or at least they have not found it. Let's begin the investigation in Indian Mound Park, Quincy, Illinois. This park has mounds that are still viewable to this day. But who were the mound builders? And were they capable of building a 1,500-foot long effigy serpent mound? Our first mound that we visit is a bit overgrown, but it is on the bluff. Peeking through the trees is the mighty Mississippi and the valley. Past the river is Missouri. The view from the bluffs was and still is astounding. Even to this day, the area still feels spiritual in nature. And from this point, you see the full Mississippi Valley and the river providing water and food and life. We now know the bluffs were sacred to the Native Americans, and they would build mounds and bury their dead with their most prized possessions to overlook the river valley for eternity. They would use the land and the environment around them to make tools for hunting and fishing. They would make baskets, they would weave, they would use clay to make pottery, vessels to carry water. But would they make mounds shaped into effigies? Let's continue our research and push forward through the mystery of the Serpent Mound. Native Americans would through the centuries change the size of their arrowheads, but their prey never changed. So what were they hunting? Or who were they hunting? Or were they defending themselves against a threat, a much larger threat? There are rumors of another group of people, tall, large in stature, a group of people who could do the work of 10 men. Although this is rumored, what if it is true? In many Indian cultures, there has always been the stories of giants, large men, huge in stature. Carthage, Illinois, 1891. While investigating a mound, an enormous collection of human bones was unearthed. as said in an article from the Ashland Weekly Journal. No less than 500 people were buried here, and their skeletons show conclusively that these people were of a race of giants. And this was found only 43 miles away from the Quincy Mounds. Could it be true that an ancient tribal battle was fought on the bluffs of the Mississippi, and one tribe being made up of giants? And if the Snake Mound is real, then who made it? Is it the Native Americans, or could it be the race of giants? We may never know. Let's continue our journey back to Indian Mounds Park, Quincy, Illinois. Near the mounds, there is a stone commemorating the Black Hawk Wars. This is a video I would like to produce in the future. As we continue, we learn they were called the Mississippians, the mound builders, and they were the first farmers, the first to cultivate seeds. But what else were they capable of? They made tools for working, weapons for hunting, and medicine from the land. If they're capable of this, then they would be capable of so much more. We have reached the Crescent Mound in our journey. A mound shaped like a crescent, higher on one ridge, looking out over the river valley. The middle is a flat plateau, a circle that's lower than the ridge. And just south is a crescent-shaped drop-off. To this day, it is unknown what it was built for, but it is suggested that it was a place for spiritual rituals. But standing on it, I realized it was the highest point around. Let's continue our journey out of the park, and let's look at the evidence we have for the mysterious Serpent Mound. In March of 2018, I found an article about a serpent mound north of Quincy. This article has eluded me for years. From the article, I was able to articulate where the Serpent Mound was located. Since that spring, I have always wondered, was it really there? When I made a new search for the article, it was missing. I searched the internet high and low, but could not find it. But recently, I found on an old phone that when I seen it, I took a picture of it. Tune in next time as we look over the evidence and search for the Serpent Mound.